Okay, so the first question is tell me about your experience as a Spanish speaking person in the USA.
Being a Spanish speaking person in the US has brought me a lot of opportunity as far as jobs, or simply being able to talk to people that aren't fluent in English. It's always a good feeling to help people where I can. You do occasionally get those type of people that look at you weird when you talk Spanish, just because it's simply not used as much as you think, or I would hope it would be used, in my opinion. It all really depends where it's used and around what type of people. You do get those occasions where you use it in certain states or certain areas, and you get those weird looks, or people just be racist because they're not used to hearing Spanish. I've personally dealt with that issue, and I've dealt with helping family members or my parents simply with bills, phone calls, questions, just because they aren't fluent in Spanish. I think that it should be more acceptable, not only in the US but everywhere, to be bilingual no matter what language you're speaking. I feel like being bilingual has brought me a lot of opportunity, not just job wise but also connecting with people or helping out people where I can. It's always a good feeling to help out people that aren't fluent in Spanish, and you can help them because you are fluent in both Spanish and English. In my opinion, it's a really good thing to grow up with and have, being bilingual, being able to understand one language and another, and being able to connect two and two. Overall, in my opinion, it's a great experience. I mean, there's so much that you can learn from it.
So the next question is where do you live? Do you live alone? What do you like and dislike about the city where you live?
I currently live in El Paso, Texas. I live with my family, my mother, my dad, and my brother. Things I like about my city. It's home. It's always gonna be home. It's where I have my friends, my family, and I grew up here my whole life, so it's always gonna be home. I did spend some time away, like a year and a half. I lived out of El Paso, and I missed it. I missed it a lot. It's home. It's where I grew up, and it's a place I'll always have in my heart. What I dislike about El Paso, there's nothing to do here really. With the right company and friends, you could do a lot of things, obviously, but there's nothing to do here. Weekends, people pretty much just party, drink. That's all there is to do here in El Paso, and I feel like a lot of people here in El Paso are negative. Push people down, push their peers down as far as like, oh, I want to start a business or whatever, and people are always negative, or there's always somebody having to say something about it or just being negative about it. That's my opinion in El Paso, and I also feel like it's really dirty and outdated. I feel like El Paso has a lot of potential. We just don't do anything about it. As far as, yes, we're always in construction, we're always doing new roads and this and that, but I think El Paso has a lot more to offer than just building new roads and whatnot. I mean, it has grown a lot, and that makes me happy. By Pebble Hills High School, it's grown so much, and whatnot. By East Lake, it's grown so much. But I feel like El Paso has a lot more to offer, and we're just not at the full potential. I feel like there's way more that we can do as a city. So that's just my 2 cents on that.
What language or cultural differences did you notice if you lived out of town for an extended length of time?
I lived out in Lake Tahoe, Nevada for about a year and a half. One of the biggest differences is nobody knew Spanish. There was about 4 of us at the college that did speak Spanish. The rest of the people were just English speakers. We did have a Portuguese or Brazilian. He spoke Portuguese. I think the biggest thing is just that culture that us Hispanics have, or even here in El Paso, that feeling of I'll help you with whatever, I'm here for whatever, pushing each other and whatnot. It was always very different, very weird in Lake Tahoe. The biggest thing as well was food. Food was the biggest thing for me, something that I missed a lot from El Paso when I was away. The food and just being able to speak so much Spanish that I couldn't speak it over there. I would speak it with those 4 or 5 people that lived on campus with me, and that's about it. I played soccer. That's huge because over here in El Paso, most of soccer is spoken in Spanish. Like, hey, give me the ball, it's all in Spanish. All of the call outs are in Spanish. I had to adjust to doing it in English and yelling at my teammates in English, talking to my coach in English. It was all just something very different. But I would say the biggest thing for me was the food, and that not having somebody to speak Spanish to all the time, as far as not even just soccer wise, like food wise, anything like, oh, this is not good in Spanish. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was just, those were the biggest things to me. Food and soccer when I was away, because those are the things that I was out there for, school and soccer.
Tell me about your family. How is it composed? Where do they live? And what do they do?
My family is mostly from El Paso. My dad is the only one from Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. He was born and raised over there, and he crossed over to El Paso, Texas. Married my mom, had my brother and me. My mom raised in the States, pretty much. My dad is a manager at a cafeteria. He wakes up early in the morning, 6 in the morning. Hardworking man, always worked his whole life. Very hardworking man, always. My mom as well, hardworking. She's currently a teacher, kindergarten teacher. Very hardworking woman as well. Done nothing but support me and my brother for everything that we want to do. My brother, he does taxes, income taxes and whatnot. That's pretty much it. As far as culturally, just Mexican culture, my dad's family is all in Juarez. Rarely talk to them. We rarely cross over. Once in a while, we'll head over there and, talk to them, visit them, whatnot. But for the most part, that's my dad's side of the family. My mom's side of the family is all here in El Paso. Not very connected to them. Used to be very connected to them. It's pretty much it. Just grew up in a Mexican household, traditional Mexican household, Mexican food, Mexican values, being taught respect and being nice to people. It's just the culture the culture they've given us, or that's the way they've taught us life. And I wouldn't want to do it any other way. I think this is the best way that I could have been raised, and I'm just happy to be able to be here. And I don't know, it's my parents. I'm happy they had me. I'm happy to be representing them, I guess, in one way or another, and my ancestors as well. My grandparents from my mom's side as well, from Mexico. My dad's parents as well from Mexico. Sadly, I don't have any grandparents. All passed away. I think that's what's disconnected to all of our families so much, but at the end of the day, that's the Mexican way, I guess.
Okay, so tell me about your daily activities. What do you do in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night? And does it differentiate from the weekends?
My daily activities include waking up early, at least trying to, washing up, getting some breakfast, shower if I didn't shower the night before, because I usually shower at nights. Get my breakfast. Currently just doing Uber, which is my job currently. Uber for about up to until like 4, 3 when people start getting out of work or it dies down, and then at night, depending if I play video games and stream, it's something that I want to do, which is my dream and my goal. So I do that at nights. If I stream that night, then I stream that night, and if I don't stream that night, I will do Uber that late night, afternoon, up until about 10, 11 maybe. After I finish streaming, wash up, shower, usually shower at night, get ready for bed, watch TV, try to go to sleep, usually end up sleeping late. Also with Uber, after I'm done Ubering, get home, eat whatever if I'm hungry, shower up, get ready for bed, watch some TV, and go to sleep. And weekends, it really depends on weekends. If I have plans or if I'm going to go out with friends and whatnot, then things do change. Since I am my own boss, quote unquote, technically, I choose when I want to work and what time, and if I do want to work at all. It really just depends what I'm doing that weekend, but for the most part, weekends, it's the same thing. Wake up, wash up, eat some breakfast, go to work, half day, get some lunch, go to work again, or I stream that day. That's pretty much it. Those are my daily routines. It's that's pretty much it. That's all I do.
Tell me a bit about your childhood. Like, what are some specific memories of your childhood? How were you? What kind of games did you play? Any funny stories that you have?
Childhood, pretty much average childhood. Grew up playing soccer my whole life. It's what I've done my whole life. It's what I've enjoyed. Grew up with my brother. My brother's 7 years older than me, so it was always a constant back and forth fighting and arguing and making me cry and whatnot, so that was always funny. Looking back at it now, it's funny, it's hilarious. A specific memory, things that I remember a lot. I was a little troublemaker back then. For some reason I stuffed beans in my nose. Had to go to the hospital, got them removed. Still crying that night. Turns out that I had another one deep down in my nose, so I had to go to the hospital again and get that removed. Also burned in my hand on my grandma's kitchen stove because I was a little kid and just curious, and I touched the kitchen stove and burned in my hand. Those are things. Also, I remember a lot when I was in elementary. I would fake that I was sick, and I would make my grandma come pick me up, and my grandma would pick me up. We'd go to the swap or downtown, whatever she was doing. She'd take me all over El Paso doing her things. It was funny times. For the most part, just soccer. Traveling with my soccer team, tournaments. That's pretty much it. A lot of sports, mainly soccer. Playing with all my friends, hanging out with my friends at the playground when I was a lot younger. Just funny memories. A lot of good and fun memories with older friends that I have no idea what they're up to now. But that was pretty much my childhood, growing up, soccer and kicking the ball around the house, breaking windows around the house, getting in trouble, getting my butt whooped and whatnot, but it was all in good fun. I didn't mean any harm to anybody. I was just enjoying my life.
How has COVID changed your daily routine, your work, and your life?
Changed a lot. Before COVID, I was working construction out in the field with a lot of people and whatnot. COVID hit, quit my job, wasn't getting a lot of hours. It was hard for all of us to work. So I went into a call center, working a call center from home, something I never ever thought would happen or even thought it was a thing, working a call center from home. So that's something that changed, and it was something that I was not used to at all. Not going out so much, not going to the store, or if I went to the store, having to be so cautious, wearing a mask, just being careful about your surroundings. And it was just, especially for me, my parents, they're obviously a little bit older, not wanting to, if I got COVID, get them sick or whatnot. So it was I always have to be very cautious and very careful about where I'm going and whatnot. It's been a little bit better now recently because they're vaccinated now and whatnot, but yeah, I've always had to be careful, and it changed my routine a lot. Working that call center was not something I enjoyed, so that's where I'm currently at now. I do Uber. So as before that, I was doing construction where my routine was completely different, very, very different. And I don't hate where I'm at right now or anything, but life has changed a lot with COVID. COVID hit and changed so many things, and now we live in this COVID world. We live in this world where, oh, you're not vaccinated, ew, that's nasty, or whatnot. Oh, you are vaccinated, cool, I'll talk to you. I don't know, it's funny, it's a weird, I don't know what happened to the world, to be honest with you. But yeah, COVID changed a lot of things. I think not just for me, but for a lot of people in general. COVID affected me in a lot of ways, mentally, physically. I gained weight. COVID was tough. It's gotten a lot better now, but COVID was really tough. Ended up catching COVID and having to be home, not doing anything, stuck inside my room. So COVID did affect me personally a lot.
Do you think COVID-19 has affected your city a lot, and how?
I feel like it's been worse in Texas or El Paso, simply because people don't care. People do not care if people are dying or catching COVID or whatnot, just because we're in Texas. Texas is like, you know how Texas is. It's their own world, so people don't really respect it or care for it. So I feel like it has been really worse. I think I remember like the data showed even that like we were one of the states with like the most COVID cases. People don't care here. People are selfish. That's just the way people are here, and sadly here in El Paso or Texas even. People just don't care, in my opinion. So I do believe like it was worse for us. It hit us harder. And the whole like mask mandate, like people wouldn't even follow it, or they would just not care. So that's my opinion.
And the last question is, do people respect COVID-related rules in and outside of the country?
I feel like for the most part, in the country, there is other places that do respect COVID rules or mandates a little bit more. As far as outside of the country, I think I saw like it was like in Europe whenever like the whole COVID was happening at the beginning. They were like already down, like, and we were over here with high numbers, and over there they were already getting over it and whatnot. I just feel like again I said, people don't care. People don't care. They're selfish. They don't care about other people. They just care about themselves. So I feel like in other places it was a little bit better and a little bit more, I don't know, they would follow the rules, quote unquote, or they would care more about COVID and people around them. As far as in the country, I'm sure there's other places that do follow COVID stuff a lot more than specifically El Paso. But as far as like now in time, I feel like now in this time that we're at right now, people don't care. People are, because it's over, I guess, which is not, but people don't care because it's very little cases now, and people just doing their lives like a normal thing, which is good for them, obviously, but I feel like we should be a little bit more careful because it's still out there.